everybody!
Hello!
Hi, welcome back to another episode of the GSE&C English podcast. Now, you may notice that something is a little bit different around here.
Is it?
I'm not sure.
What is different?
You!
It's me!
You're not Lawton!
I'm not Lawton. Not the last time I looked anyway.
Right, where is Lawton?
Lawton is now in charge of something slightly different, as well as managing our GST operations and our morning programs. He's also our director. You can't see him, but Lawton is behind the camera, directing us to the best of his ability.
Yeah, so Lawton will no longer be presenting the GSE&C English podcast. I know.
It's very sad.
I know this is very difficult for everyone at home, but we have Dylan.
A decent replacement.
A decent replacement. Taller, more handsome, better hairline.
Only one of those things is true.
Everything going for him. Okay, so this is Dylan. And you may have seen Dylan on the GST clinic videos.
Yeah, we did those videos together.
We did. So Dylan is going to be co-hosting the podcast from now on. Today, we're just going to get to know Dylan. We're going to do some language expressions, some key language, which would be helpful for you, but also get to know Dylan a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dylan, why don't we start with where you're from?
Yeah, let's start with the basics. So, just like Owen, I'm from the UK.
So you're from England?
I am not from England. I am from Wales, which is a part of the UK. And I think one of my pet peeves is that Wales is quite a small country.
Yeah.
And whenever I meet people who don't know about the UK that well, they assume that England and Wales and Scotland are just really one country called England, when there are some major differences between us. And
we can't all be lucky enough to be from England.
If you say so. but yeah, I think this would be a good time to talk about the differences between Great Britain and the UK and the countries within.
Yeah.
So Great Britain itself is made up of three countries, Scotland, England and Wales. Wales hate the English, Scotland, they hate the English too.
We love everybody though.
Pretty much everyone hates the English. So when people refer to me as English, it can make me a little bit upset.
Yeah.
So that's Great Britain, those three countries there. And then the UK would also include Northern Ireland, who 50% hate the English.
Yeah.
So it's good not to refer to everyone as English if they come from Great Britain or the UK.
So the Great Britain is just the island of England, Wales and Scotland.
Yeah, the mainland.
And the United Kingdom includes Northern Ireland. But if you meet someone from Yongguk, the United Kingdom, don't just assume they are English.
Okay, so if I were meeting someone from the UK and I wanted to ask them about which part they're from, what would be the best way of phrasing that question instead of just saying, oh, you're English?
I'd say, oh, so where in the UK are you from, I guess.
Yeah.
So where in the UK are you from?
Yeah, where or maybe which part? Which part of the UK are you from?
Yeah.
And then I might say, well, I'm from Wales, specifically the southwest.
Yes, and I am from Northern England.
Yeah. And I think that location is very important to people's identity in the UK. And I think we'll talk about that in future podcasts.
We will. So that's the first thing to clear up. Never tell or say to a Scottish, a Welsh or a Northern Irish person or an Irish person
Irish as well,
that you're English. Because that's like, I don't know, it's maybe not the same as saying to a Korean person, oh, you're from Japan, right? But it might be like saying to a Korean person, if you go to England and you say, oh, I'm from Korea, and they say, oh, North Korea or South Korea. It's like, well, yeah, that seems like a silly question to you, and it seems like a silly question or silly thing to say to British people if you're from Wales and they say you're from England.
Yeah. You could upset someone from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Which would create an issue.
Yeah, start off on the wrong foot.
Yeah. That's a good expression.
That is a good expression. You don't want to get off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Dylan, I know that you've lived in Korea for a long time now.
10 years.
10 years, very similar to me. So you must be fluent in Korean by now?
I would put myself as a high beginner.
A high beginner.
A high beginner. Low intermediate, something like that, which is quite bad, but I've been quite busy the last 10 years, so that's my excuse.
Yes, me too. Yeah, we're probably similar level, I would guess, and we're still working hard at improving our Korean. So, so you've lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested to hear about some of maybe the interesting or slightly unusual things that people have said to you over the years, or common things that people say to you over the years. Is there anything that stands out for you?
Yeah, I think there are two things that stand out for me. So one, I would say, is a kind of common question that I always get.
Okay.
And I think it could be improved, the way that the question is asked.
Okay.
And there's something that is said to me that's on quite an often basis that I wouldn't particularly say to people that I'd met.
Okay.
So let's talk about the question. And the question style is this question of, do you know something?
Aha.
And I get this quite a lot. Whenever I meet a Korean person, they'll say, do you know kimchi? Do you know dokdo? Do you know jeju? And it's an okay question. I understand what they mean. Sometimes it can be a bit silly. I can remember when I was in Cheongju. Cheongju was I consider that to be my Korean hometown. Working with a co-worker, one day she said to me, do you know rice? It's like asking someone, do you know water? Of course we know what water is. But it's also not the most natural way of asking that question.
Right.
So what would be a more appropriate way of asking, about food or about places, and why don't we use do you know?
Well, if we say, do you know, I mean, normally we use that when we're talking about people.
Yeah.
Right, so do you know Lawton?
Yeah, I know Lawton.
Yeah, we've met before. Yeah, so do you know Mr. Kim? Oh, yes, I know Mr. Kim well. If we're talking about something different, like food or a place, we wouldn't say that. We'd probably say, have you ever tried? Have you ever eaten? So we could say, have you ever tried kimchi?
Yep.
Have you eaten rice?
Yeah, I have eaten rice.
You've eaten rice before. Okay,
Yes.
all right. If it's a place, you would say, have you heard of, or have you been to?
Yeah.
So you might say, have you heard of Dokdo?
I have heard of Dokdo.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Busan?
I have been to Busan many, many times.
Exactly. We do not say, do you know Busan? Because that's knowing a person or an individual.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. All right. It's a very, very, very common question.
It is.
People always say, do you know Dokdo? Do you know kimchi? Avoid that.
Yeah, try to avoid that. The second thing that I would maybe like to change is, I'm very lucky. I have been gifted with a very large nose.
Okay.
So in the last 10 years, many Korean people have commented on my nose. Why do you have a big nose?
Side profile, please.
There you go. I don't know which way is better. But comments like, when they first meet me, oh, your nose is so big. Or why do you have a big nose? Why is your nose
Why
so
do you
big?
have a big nose?
I mean, I don't know. Why? Is it a joke? I don't know why I have
How
a big
many
nose.
times have you been asked, why do you have a big nose?
Probably double digits.
Wow.
Probably double digits. So more than 10 times.
More than 10 times.
Someone has commented about my nose. And the thing is, sometimes they will ask in English, okay, why do you have a big nose? Why is your nose so big? But sometimes they will say it in Korean thinking that I won't understand.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, I do understand that I have a big nose. I understand that what you're saying.
Yes.
And I think the issue for me is in the UK or British culture, maybe Western culture, we tend not to make negative or sensitive comments about someone's appearance. Positive comments, totally fine. You look good today.
Yeah.
I like your clothes. I like your outfit. But anything that could be sensitive, like you look tired, you look terrible, you have a big nose. We tend not to say these things in Western culture, but it is more common in Korean culture. So maybe I would avoid saying those kind of things with with foreigners, basically.
So, Dylan, you have a very nice nose.
Thank you very much. I don't agree, but it's nice of you to say so.
Yeah, there we go. That's a nice positive comment. Okay, all right. So those are some interesting things which people say quite regularly. They might comment on hair or appearance or just how you look.
Yeah.
So try to avoid that unless you're giving someone a compliment. Our next topic we're going to talk about is you. I know you've been here for a long time, as we said, but you, unlike me, you want to stay here for the rest of your life, don't you? You are what we call a lifer.
Yes.
A lifer in Korea. So I have hopes to eventually move to the UK one day, not now, but one day in the future. I would like to, I think. But you don't really want to do that. Why? Why is that? Why do you want to stay in Korea?
So first of all, I have a family here in Korea. I'm married to a Korean woman. We have a young son. And I think Korea is the best place for us to live and to raise a son. The people in Korea are fantastic. They've been very kind to me. They've been very warm-hearted. They've been very friendly, including my wife's family. The food, the culture, the quality of life, I consider these things to be much, much higher than the UK. And I feel that for me, my wife, my son, my extended family, Korea is the place where we will be the happiest and have the best life. So I'm absolutely looking forward to living in Korea for the rest of my life and hopefully retiring to Busan when the time comes.
You've convinced me.
You should stay.
I'm gonna stay. All right, let's buy a house next door to each other. We can,
Oh, we can be neighbours.
we can be neighbours. All right. So there we go. All right, so that is all the time we have for today. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
Any comments below, any questions you have for Dylan, post those below. We'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, if you want to do the worksheet, we will have the worksheet for you. You can answer any questions, all the questions that we have on there. And also learning opportunities, learning offerings from the BC and BS courses. What kind of courses do we have right now?
Well, yeah, the good thing is we've recently expanded the number of learning opportunities. In the morning, we've got a range of classes now, hopefully ranging from the very beginning or beginner level to a more advanced level. Those classes are every Tuesday, Thursday, so try to sign up for those. We've got workshops related to email writing, meetings, negotiations. They're just for 1 week, so quite an intense way of improving your ability. And of course, we've still got the BC program that we run at our centres in Namcheon and Yongin. And we've got offline stuff, the Wewa Voca project that you should be taking part in, and I hope you are improving your vocabulary on a daily basis. So we've got so many opportunities for you to improve your English ability and to become more confident with using English.
Exactly. Okay, so that's all for today. So thank you very much and see you next time. Bye-bye.